Yo, what's up, guys? It is Charles from How About the Hustle, and I want to explain the SG or SocialGood breakdown, how they make money, how the token goes up, how the token goes down, so that you guys can understand what you're investing in and you can understand how it works. It's a pretty simple process, so I feel like I can explain this to you guys pretty clearly. So all of you have an SG app. In that SG app, you shop for things. When you shop for things, you get issued tokens. Okay, SG tokens. SG minted these tokens as an ERC20 contract out of nowhere. Okay, I believe at this point we're up to 2.1 million tokens that SG has. So every time you make purchases, they're going to send you a token. Okay, and then you're going to take those tokens after 30 to 60 days, or 30 to 90 days, or 30 to 120 days. They'll get approved. Once your tokens get approved, we'll go right here for green. Once those tokens get approved, you're going to send them over to an exchange. Now, an exchange is just exactly what it is. It's a place where you can change things out from one thing to another, exchanging it. So you're going to send your SG token to the exchange. You're going to swap it. I have another video that explains these processes much more practically, like going through them exactly for what they're doing. But for this, I just want to kind of go over the concept that how they're running things. So you'll send them to an exchange right here. Oops. You'll send them to an exchange, and then after you get them exchanged, you're going to send it over to Coinbase, and then Coinbase, you're going to send it over to your bank account. Really simple process, and that's how you get money. More theoretically, where it's not like practically shown out, from your address, from SG over to your bank. Now, this is pretty simple. I'm going to explain this. So we go from SG. SG is going to send you the tokens to you as a user, and then you're going to send it over to an exchange. There are a few choices on exchanges, which I'm not going to go over right now. I have another video I'll link at the end of the video. Right now, I'm just trying to explain the whole process to you guys. And then after that, you're going to send it over to Coinbase. Okay. Got to do blue for Coinbase. And then after that, you're going to do your bank account. And that's the flow. But there's a few more key characteristics here that I want to explain to you guys. And they happen to be, whenever SG wants to go up or wants to go down. So SG has 2.1 million tokens that they minted out of nowhere. They created them out of thin air. There's no intrinsic value to them. It's not like a house where people can live, not yada yada yada. So basically, you guys spend, you can say $2,000 at eBay. You'll get $1,000 back in SG tokens. Well, those SG tokens, when they get approved or sent to you, they get sent from this stockpile that SG has, SocialGood has. As that stockpile starts to diminish and starts to get less and less and less, which it will, because they're not minting more tokens. Now, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But when they do, just keep giving out the tokens, they get less and less and less, and they'll go from, 2 million tokens to 1 million tokens to 500,000 tokens, down to 250,000, and so on, until they get to 0 tokens. And when they get to 0 tokens, it looks like okay, but it's a 0. When they get to 0 tokens, one thing happens that's very specific that helps the whole process. So we'll go right here. When they get to 0 tokens, they have 2 options on getting more tokens. They can, 1, mint, which is, or 2, purchase from exchanges. Okay. These matter because they do different things and they have a different effect on the token itself. So say right now on the exchanges that SG is worth 80 cents every SG, which means that every 80 cents you spend, you're going to get 1 SG. So it's worth a little less than $1. Now, if we want the price of SG to go up, that means that more people need to purchase SG. So what you can do on an exchange, okay, let's go right here. is you can sell something. You can sell any type of crypto that you want, or if it's in exchange for stocks or in exchange for Forex or whatever it is, you're exchanging one thing out for another. And, as SG, you'll have on your exchange like a list of orders. It'll be like, 80 cents, 200 of them. At 82 cents, 300 of them. At 85 cents, it'll be like 50. At 90 cents, it'll be like 25. At 95 cents, it'll be like 200. And the point is this is a walk-up. So if SG runs out of tokens right here, if they run out of tokens to issue people because more people are using the app than they currently have in their stockpile, they have two choices. They can mint more tokens, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's not ideal for our situation. Or they can go back and purchase from exchanges, which is ideal for us. And the reason why is because the exchanges say that there is 150,000 tokens between 80 cents and $5. Okay? What does that mean? That means that there are orders to sell, right? Like here, there are orders to sell 150,000 tokens, but those orders aren't all at the exact same price range. They start out at 80 cents, for 200, and then there's like 80 for 82 cents, there's 300 tokens, and then it goes up to 85 cents for 50 tokens, and so it gets walked up. So if SG right here has to go to the exchanges and purchase tokens, they don't get to purchase them all at the same price. They've got to walk the price up. So first they have to buy at 80 cents to bring this 150K down that they need to issue to users. Next they'll have to buy at 82 cents. Next they'll buy at 85 cents. Next they'll buy at 90 cents. Next they'll buy at 95 cents. You see what I'm saying? And they're going to walk the price up from 80 cents all the way to $5 because they need, say there's 15K users, okay, and they did 300K in SG this month. Well, that means that SG needs to come up with 300,000 tokens. Say they run out of tokens the months before, and they're looking at 0 tokens right now. Well, they've got two options. They can mint more, they can purchase from exchanges. Now, if they go purchase from an exchange, it'll do what I'm talking about, and it's going to walk the price up from 80 cents to 85 to 90 cents. And that's how we get upward pressure from our token. Now, if they mint, it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. If they mint, basically that means that they're going to issue new tokens from nowhere. Okay? Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that it's the end of the world for the project, but it does mean that there is less downward pressure. Okay? Less upward pressure. Okay? Now, if they purchase from the exchanges, one of the big things is that there is high upward pressure. Now, the only thing is you got to remember that SG, as a company right here, SG, the one I'm squiggling on, they get money for being affiliates. So basically, every single time they recommend a user to buy through their eBay or buy through something else, they get a cut of that, and they get reimbursed, or not reimbursed, but they get paid for all the people that they issue from their app to other markets, eBay, Amazon, yada, yada, yada. I don't think there's an Amazon except for one place specifically, but eBay, Alibaba, yada, yada, yada. So that's their cut of the deal, and the reason it's so good for them is because they created the SG tokens right here out of nowhere. They literally just created a contract, created the tokens from nowhere, and then they issue them, and they're worth money now in the market because people are buying them. Well, ideally, SG right here will go right here. They'll issue. You'll go to the exchanges, and say an exchange will have, it'll have a 700K SG on one exchange, 250K on one exchange, etc. Now, when SG right here runs out of tokens, they're going to go from the exchanges all the way back over, and they're going to fill this 300K right here that they need to fulfill by buying on the exchange, which creates massive upward pressure for the token, which is really, really awesome. Now, lately we've been minting more often right here than we've been buying on the secondary market. It's been a new strategy for them, and it's not the worst thing in the world, but it is what's happening. So basically, long story short, guys, whenever you have, let me make this pink. Whenever you've got SG, what's happening to the whole market is SG right here issues your tokens every single time you make a purchase. After those tokens get approved, you're going to send them over to the exchanges, and you're going to exchange it for BTC or USDT. After you do that, you're going to send your BTC, right? Let me write it right here. You're going to send your BTC from the exchange over to Coinbase. You're going to sell that BTC on Coinbase, and then you're going to send the US dollars over to your bank account. Super, super simple. The exchange now has the SG tokens, and as SG, right here, the one I'm super squiggling on, issues tokens to people over and over and over and over, they run out, and hopefully they can mint, no big deal, but hopefully they purchase from exchanges, causing a lot of upward pressure for us as holders and as SG users, thus creating the ability for us to make more money, because if you guys are holding at 80 cents 100 tokens, you have $80, okay? But if the token goes up to $5 and you're holding 100, you just made $500 off of, whatever purchase. Maybe you did a $200 purchase, and now you're doubling your money. So ideally, we really want a world where we're creating, quite a bit of upward pressure from the exchanges, which is no big deal. But there can also be external circumstances with Lord help me, external circumstances which create upward pressure without the company necessarily needing to buy those tokens, which is go right here. Okay, so we'll type upward pressure, which is history. Okay. History means that a token has gone up and gone down. So if you have your lowest lows and your highest highs, people feel safe to invest in those ranges sometimes. So if the lowest low for SG is 15 cents per SG and the highest high, I believe it was $8, but really it's been more like $3.96. Inside of this range right here, people feel okay investing. So if SG drops down to 50 cents, some people may invest just straight cash into SG because it's dipped down to 50 cents. You got your chart, yada, yada, yada. It hits 50 cents right here. Well, somebody dumps a bunch of money into it, thus causing upward pressure. And if it keeps happening and keeps happening, people will keep investing in the token as it goes up. And you don't necessarily need the project to create upward pressure for you. Now, it is nice when they do that, and that's something that we really had banked on as a community, but it's no big deal. So that's basically the whole breakdown of how SG works, how they got tokens. They minted them on an ERC20 contract. They issue them to users. After they issue them to users, we go to exchanges, exchange them out for Bitcoin, unless you're a holder of SG. I haven't seen that very often, but it could totally exist. You get issued Bitcoin, then you send that Bitcoin over to Coinbase. After Coinbase, you'll sell that Bitcoin, you'll send it to a bank account. And basically, SG has two options to mint or not. So that's how it breaks down and works, guys. That's how SG makes money. That's how the exchanges that's how the exchanges work, and yada, yada. Upward pressure, we talked about that a little bit. There are other factors to upward pressure, besides just history of the coin, but I really feel like the biggest consideration is history of the coin and people thinking that it's a good investment to sit inside of. So anyway, that's the SG breakdown. I hope that blessed you guys. I hope it wasn't too long and lengthy, and I hope it was clear. Anyway, this is How About the Hustle, and I'll see you guys next time.